Good morning, welcome to the Daily News Podcast. Today is May 24th, 2026.
U.S. and Iranian officials say they're close to a deal that could help end the war, and President Trump says the agreement is largely negotiated, including steps tied to de-escalation and reopening the Strait of Hormuz. That matters far beyond the region, because Hormuz is one of the world's most important shipping routes for oil. If this holds, it could ease pressure on energy markets, lower fears of a wider Middle East conflict, and give global markets a rare dose of relief after days of uncertainty.
That's the story traders and governments everywhere are watching. If the strait really reopens safely, that could ripple straight through gas prices, shipping costs, and inflation expectations. In China, at least 82 people were killed in a coal mine explosion in Shaanxi province, now the country's deadliest mining disaster in 16 years. It's a huge human tragedy, and it also throws a spotlight back on industrial safety in a sector China still relies on heavily. Expect tough questions about regulation, enforcement, and whether cost pressures are once again colliding with worker safety.
It's horrifying, and sadly it's the kind of disaster that tends to expose problems people already suspected were there. This will put real pressure on local officials and the mining industry. In Ukraine, Russia launched a new wave of strikes that killed at least one person and injured more than 20, with damage reported across Kyiv. At the same time, Vladimir Putin is vowing retaliation after accusing Ukraine of hitting a student dormitory in occupied territory. The immediate takeaway is simple. The war is still escalating in both rhetoric and force, and civilians remain caught in the middle as major cities and everyday infrastructure stay under threat.
And every new strike like this makes talk of de-escalation feel farther away. It's a grim reminder that this war is still grinding on, day after day. Right, moving to business, Big Tech's AI spending spree is now reshaping credit markets. Major hyperscalers are piling on debt to fund data centers, chips, and power-hungry AI infrastructure, and that's fueling a boom in the derivatives tied to corporate credit. In plain English, Wall Street is building more ways to price and trade the risk around this AI build-out. It shows just how massive the investment cycle has become, and how deeply AI is now connected to borrowing costs, market structure, and financial risk.
AI isn't just a tech story anymore. It's a full financial system story. When the funding gets this big, everybody from bond traders to regulators starts paying attention. On the tech side, Google has unveiled a new multimodal system that can turn one type of media into another, like text to video or images to audio, underscoring how fast generative AI is advancing. The upside is obvious: more creative tools, faster production, and new ways to search, design, and communicate. The downside is just as obvious. Deepfakes get easier, synthetic content gets harder to detect, and the line between real and generated media keeps getting blurrier.
That's the exciting part and the unsettling part in the same breath. The tools keep getting better, and the trust problem keeps getting bigger. Also getting attention this morning, Reddit is lit up over tech layoffs passing 100,000 so far this year, as companies keep cutting jobs while ramping up AI investment. That conversation is being amplified by California Governor Gavin Newsom's new order aimed at addressing AI job displacement. It captures the tension of this moment perfectly. Companies say AI will boost productivity, but workers are increasingly seeing the cost upfront in lost roles and reorganized careers.
And that's where the public mood could really harden. People tend to like innovation a lot less when they feel they're personally paying for it. Also in brief, Aura says it receives government demands for user data, renewing concerns about wearable privacy.
Also in brief, Canada is imposing a 15% tax on streaming services to support local content.
Also in brief, tens of thousands rallied in Serbia in student-led anti-government demonstrations demanding early elections.
And to wrap up, the Ansel Adams Trust is objecting to an unauthorized AI-colorized exhibition of the iconic photo Moonrise, Hernandez, New Mexico, in a dispute that cuts right to the center of art, copyright, and AI manipulation. It's another sign that the cultural fights over generative AI are only getting louder.
That's it for this morning's briefing.
Thanks for listening.
We'll see you tomorrow.